Hello everybody, this is George with Melnick's Automotive. I am working on a 2012 Volkswagen CC. It's exactly the same as Volkswagen Passat. I guess it's a common problem because I've seen something on Jettas based on my research. Watch what happens when I start my car. Okay, watch what happens when I'm actually start driving. Ignore the airbag light, that's totally a different system. But when I put it in drive, and when I start driving the car, I have my traction light come on and starts flashing. And what's actually gonna happen, it's gonna throw a whole bunch of more lights on the dash. In just a second, I'm gonna demonstrate it. You can see it's flashing, even though my car is not skidding, but the car will not speed up. And then just in a minute, it will throw all the lights. Okay, this is a perfect example. You could see it threw a whole bunch of lights on the dash. Now I have traction, ABS, I got a steering light, and also a parking light on. And as you can see, all those lights are on. So I went ahead and put my scan tool, and I'll show you what I found. So I'm using my Launch X431 I-DIAG, the one that I use for most of my videos. I'm going to go into a brake electronics, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the codes that I have. So as you can see, I have ABS wheel speed sensor rear left and ABS speed sensor rear right. No signal communication. So we have either a bed sensor or a bed bearing, because the wheel bearing, it has that like magnetic ring around it. And I'm gonna take you underneath the car. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna do another test with this to show you if it's reading or not. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go back, and what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna read data stream by list, and I'm gonna select 4 sensors that I wanted to read. These are front sensors, and I'm gonna click confirm. So right now, as you can see, I have front left, front right, rear left, and rear right. So when I put my car in drive, I should get some readings from my wheels, okay? And as you can see, I have front wheels registering. Nothing comes on on the back. So we need to go underneath the car, and we're gonna check what's going on. Once I reset the codes, all the lights go out. All the lights go out on my dash, and then as soon as I start driving, my traction will start kicking on because it's not reading. So we're gonna go underneath the car. We're gonna take a look and see if we have a busted wire or anything like that. But I highly doubt it. Most likely it's the sensor that failed because it's not reading anything. Once I reset it, it resets, so that tells me it's not in the wiring. It's most likely in the sensor or the bearing. Okay, so I'm underneath the car. This is a rear passenger side, and this is where the sensor is located. Right here, it plugs in, and there is like an Allen wrench on this other side that holds it in place. I do have a spindle that's out of the car. I'm gonna actually show you to get a better view. But that sensor is not reading anything. I also have, there's another sensor on this side, but this side you can actually see the bolt that holds it in place. It's right here. I'm gonna throw some light on this thing to get you a better picture. But I'm also gonna show you one that's out of the car. Right there, that is the Allen wrench that holds it in place. Right there. You gotta remove that bolt in order to pull the sensor out. But I do have a spindle, like I said. We're gonna go look at it. Okay, so this is a perfect example. It's off the car. It's another spindle from a parts card that I had. But this is the sensor I was telling you about, and you could see where it's sitting. So we gotta remove that bolt in order to pull the sensor out. And I'm gonna do it on the car. I'm gonna do a different kind of test. What I'm trying to figure out right now, do I have a bed bearing or I have a bed sensor? Most likely it's the sensor, because on Volkswagens, based on my research, they fail quite a bit. AutoZone has these. You want to make sure you get the right sensor when you replace it. AutoZone has it probably for half of the cost, because I just called dealer. He quoted me my cost over $100 per sensor. AutoZone was like $54. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Okay, so what I'll be using is size 5 metric. You could also use an Allen wrench size 5, but this will take it out pretty easily. I'm also gonna do it in the car. Just I'm using one of my hands to videotape myself, and it would be kind of hard to do it, but I'll show you. This is identical setup, so it's better for video. So once I remove the bolt, I can go ahead and just yank the sensor out. And just so you know, the 2011 model, even though the sensor looks the same, it's a different part number. If you put it in, it's going to give you a code, wrong signal received. You got to jiggle it out. And once it comes out, that's what it looks like. Just like this. So these do fail for one another reason, but also I'm not sure if I can get you a shot. I don't want to remove my rotor out of here, but on the inside right here, as you can see, I'm gonna see if I can also get an extra light. Yes, this is right here the other ring, the magnetic ring that sensor reading off by. I mean, once the bearing turns, and I'm gonna see if I could demonstrate that in just a second, just like this. When the wheel is turning, when you're driving, that sensor picking up a signal. A lot of times the debris could get in there, but it's very uncommon. You can just clean debris and that will go away, but that's very uncommon. I already did that in my car and didn't help. So now I'm gonna go ahead and replace the sensor. Okay, so before I'm gonna unplug that wiring harness or that clip, I'm gonna remove the sensor with it, because it's pretty difficult to unplug it, because the actual clip is from the other side, so you don't want to break it or damage it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the bolt out, and I'm using an extension. It gets really tight with all the suspension parts here. But once I get this bolt out of there, I'll pull the sensor out. Okay, so the bolt is out, and I'm gonna yank the sensor out. Okay, I'm not sure if I can get videotape myself doing this, but once I have the sensor out, you have a little bit more room to work. And this is what the other side looks like, where you have to unplug it. Okay, you can't really press it here with your thumb. I mean, it's hard like a rock. But what I normally do right here where my nail is, I take either Phillips screwdriver right there, that little clip right there, and I go inside and pull it up and pull the sensor out. I'm not sure if I'll be able to demonstrate it, but basically just where my nail is, I put my flat tip screwdriver in there and pry it up gently and pull the sensor out. I won't be able to do that on the camera because I am videotaping myself with my other hand. Oh, alright, so this is my new sensor that I picked up from AutoZone. It was 50 bucks versus 100 bucks from the dealer. I had to get it off the floor because it fell. But anyway, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to put it all back in there. I'm going to push it in there, just like that. And don't forget to put the bolt back in. And I'm going to plug it in right now. Make sure you hear a click. I'm going to reinstall the bolt. And then we're gonna go and I'm gonna go get my scan tool, and I'm gonna verify if it works. Okay, so as you can see, I went ahead and replaced both sensors. I have my vehicle up on the lift. My rear has been jacked up, so I could clearly go ahead and spin the wheel. Okay, if you remember, this is my launch X431 I-DIAG. You could pick this up at Amazon. I have a link up there. Also off our website you can pick this up. You could use your smartphone, Droid, don't matter. As you could see, my connector is connected and little red light is flashing. It's via Bluetooth, which is nice. You could take it with you underneath the car. And as you remember, previously when I would drive, my ABS light will be kicking on and it threw a whole bunch of lights on the dash. And when I was spinning the wheels, they were reading 0. So as you could see, I replaced the wheel. This is a rear left wheel. Now I'm spinning the wheel. You could see it's reading miles per hour, and you could see I'm spinning it with my hand. So we know for sure we had a defective sensor. Right now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the rear passenger side. Both of the sensors were reading 0. So what's nice about this thing, it's totally wireless. You could take it with you, and it's very easy to do diagnostics on it. So now I am on the rear passenger side of the car, and I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel, and we should also get numbers on here. And as you can see, we're getting numbers. So now I'm going to actually take it for a spin. All the lights should be off the dash. If they don't come off, sometimes you have to use a scan tool to reset it. Okay, as you can see, my vehicle is running. It is in drive, and I'm going to take it for a spin. Previously, as soon as I would start driving, I would have traction light kick on. The airbag light that I have and the low tire pressure light has nothing to do with this. It's a totally different system. But I just want to show you. That was just perfect, beautiful. You can see my vehicle is running. No problem. I'm going to take it up to speed. So I just repaired all that. And my tire light went off because I put some air. But you could see it's not skidding no more. The lights are not coming on. And all those lights went off after I replaced both of the sensors. Without this launch, I would have been paying the visit to the dealer. I think it's a really good tool to have. Anyways, thanks for watching. This was George with Melnick's Automotive. If you have any questions, shoot us an email. Otherwise, thanks for watching.